Hamas were gone, Cornel, you would not have the ability to say, I get why Israel's got to defend itself. If Hamas were not motivating violence in a real way ever since the Second Intifada,
that's
I don't see how you don't see them as the problem.
No. Terrorism is defined by killing innocent people and terrorizing people.
Yes.
The Israeli Defense Forces have done it. Hamas have done it. Both are immoral in that sense. So I'm not defending the killing of innocent people.
These kids aren't accusing Hamas of genocide.
People who do.
They're accusing Israel.
No, but
a place that was targeted by genocide.
What is happening? No, but what is happening right now, brother? And let us be honest. If there were a Palestinian occupation of Jews, if Jews were in Gaza and Palestinians cut off water, food, electricity, bombing and killed 2,300 precious Jewish babies, which side would the American government be on? Which side would the American press be on? It would be completely different. I try to be morally consistent and say, I'm against the Palestinian occupation of Jews because Jews are precious. I'm against an Israeli occupation of Palestinians because Palestinians are precious. But when you flip that other way, all of a sudden it becomes very clear that the Palestinian lives really don't count in the way that Jewish lives do for the American government. And that's what I will never succumb to. Why? Because I'm trying to be a decent human being, and also, as you know, as a Christian, each one of those precious human beings are made in the image and likeness of God, and I'm going to stay in contact with the humanity of each, and I'm going to be critical, and I'm going to condemn any group that kills innocent people. Those are war crimes, my brother.
Yes, I get it. And the context here has a lot of different levels. But nobody's arguing what precipitated this event. October 7th precipitated the event. You say, well, but October 7th was justified, but everything came before it. I say terrorism is never justifiable because we didn't make that case on 9/11.
Well,
there was a lot of reasons to say America had done the wrong thing in the region, but when al-Qaeda hit us on 9/11, it wasn't therefore justified in an understood human reaction to suffering. It was terrorism, and we went into the wrong country and killed everyone we saw, and the college campuses weren't blowing up like this. Do you believe anti-Semitism is rearing its head in America?
But I mean, with anti-Semitism, we know anytime you have Jews in a Christian civilization and in Islamic civilization, you're going to have Jewish hatred. That's why we got to be against Jewish hatred, the hating of Jews, no matter what.
But our universities
the point is this: but don't put words in my mouth and other people's mouths. When we talk about precious Palestinian humanity, precious Palestinian resistance. There has been nonviolent forms of resistance, and the Israeli Defense Forces shot them down, my brother. Martin Luther King's spirit was invoked. We tried to promote that. They shot him down. What did South Africa do when they shot him down? What did Nelson Mandela do? He formed a guerrilla group, but what did he do? He attacked only military sites.
He didn't rip the breasts off women and mutilate babies and rape old women until he broke their bones.
That's right. That's right. That's exactly right. That's the difference between the ANC and Hamas. And Hamas, like any other group, I'm not targeting Hamas at all, and I'm not justifying Hamas. But what I'm trying to do is this. I'm trying to get people to say that if you're really concerned about the violence across the board and the barbarity across the board, you're going to have to understand the history of the vicious, ugly, atrocious war crimes against Palestinians.
I don't disagree.
We got to be honest. Read Norman Finkelstein's book on Gaza and get a sense of what's going on.
I don't disagree that there is
a
sadness that approaches madness in terms of what has happened in Palestine for many decades. There's no question that better should be demanded of the region and of all the allies. And also, Cornel, I would never put words in your mouth or anybody else's. I bring you on out of respect to have a conversation.
I understand.
Right.
I do.
And you're welcome back again.
That's why I was just trying to correct and say I would never say they're justifying. We got to be honest about our morality being consistent.
Understood.
But also understand there's rich humanity among Palestinians and Israelis, and trying to understand how vicious that occupation. We got to ceasefire. We got to exchange the hostages. We've got to end the siege, and we've got to end the occupation and see how these Jewish and Palestinians can live together some way, somehow. What a pipe dream is still worth pursuing.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.